Longchuk long case of renew some Vietnam along ore hostel ka chief Fatishiman Fatambo lina and now ore shoot on looks at them ka chief Fatamo lina ka fi renew na some Vietnam. Right now our renew viewers, you wanted to know the reason why we did that ceremony, why the LEPCHAs were doing that particular ceremony in front of the upright stone. In order to explain why we were doing this ceremony, I need to explain a little bit more about our culture, our tradition, our beliefs. You see, we are basically nature worshippers, and we do not have any kind of place to worship like the Christians have the church, like the Muslims have the masjid, like the Buddhists, they have the monasteries, different kind of Buddhist monasteries. But for us, we LEPCHAs, as we are nature worshippers, we believe that the whole nature itself is a holy place for us. So by the rivers, the mountain, the trees. So it's a very in-depth philosophy in which I will not be able to explain in a short way. But yes, when I come down to the point in which why we were doing this particular ceremony in front of the upright stones over there, I can explain it to you. We have this culture, we have this tradition of having these upright stones. This tradition comes from a very, very long period, from our ancestors. We usually raise this kind of upright stones basically for a few reasons. Number one of the main reason is we raise this kind of stone and we start we do our worship, or we do our kind of ceremonies in front of that stone. In the previous times, when there were marking of certain area, certain of era, or for a certain reason, that particular upright stone was raised when we had accomplished in making of our establishment of our indigenous LEPCHA tribal association. We had raised that particular stone, and then as a mark, a place where we would gather, discuss, and carry forward various things. So that's why we now think that particular place, that particular upright stone is a mark of a place. So before going down, now most of our people are going down to Calcutta, to Delhi, to talk to government, to talk to various governments, and to carry out various issues. So before going over there, as a strength, as a blessings from our ancestors, as a blessings from the rivers, the mountains, the trees, and mostly the guardian deity Kanchenjunga, our people were doing such a ceremony over there. And in this particular ceremony, we did not put any blood sacrifice over there. It was just with plain chi. Chi, the fermented millet brew, as you understand, is a very holy drink for us. So whenever we do this kind of ceremony, whenever we do this kind of religious activity, we use that particular chi. I mean the fermented brew. So that particular spiritual liquid was enough for us to carry on the ceremony, and that was carried out by one major Bungting. Bungting is one of our priests, a shaman priest. So he did the ceremony, a short ceremony, and then our people are leaving up. So that was the basic reason why they did that particular ceremony in front of the upright stone. Now, as you understand, the upright stones, we have got many ancestral upright stones. There's a call as Longchuks. In LEPCHA we call it Longchuk. And Longchuks are, as I told you, we raise the stone for various different reasons. Sometimes to mark the territory, sometimes to mark a particular holy place, and sometimes to also have an area been guarded. Like if you understand, I have a piece of land. It's in Tasiding up here, right? The place where I'm driving. And in that particular piece of land, I don't have anybody looking after my land. It's just there in between. So what I did many years ago, since I don't have anybody to look after my land, I have raised an upright stone called Longchuk over there. It's a single Longchuk. It must be around 4.5 to 5 feet tall stone. So what I basically do is then I do make a particular ceremony, make a understanding with that particular stone, and I make it into him. I make him into that particular stone into my brother, and I distribute everything to that particular stone. My belief is that from that particular day I made him, that particular stone, as my brother. And then I share with him everything. I think about him. I even share my blessings with him. I share many of my gifts with him. And say for example, if I'm very far away and if I'm having a good time, I think about that stone, which is kind of which is a brother to me. So when I share all my gifts, I do when I do share all my gifts and when I do share all my blessings, I have made him a part of my family. And in return, what I do tell him is to ask him to protect my land. So I give my responsibility. In LEPCHA we call it Kogen. My responsibility, I hand it over to the upright stone, now which is my brother. I tell him to look after my land. So I believe that he will look after my land, that particular 3 acres of land. So, and anybody who enters inside my land, I believe that he will protect it, and nobody will try to do like taking away things from my land, stealing some little things or whatever, or try to destroy my land. Because I've already given the responsibility to my brother, who is over there looking after my land. So my belief and faith is such that that particular stone will look after my land. And many of my, maybe some neighbors or the other people who come with bad intentions sometimes fall sick. Maybe have a pain on their leg, maybe have a pain on their arms, and all these things will start to occur. So usually when people enter my land, and if they enter my land with some wrong intention, they usually fall sick, and then they come to me, and then I just tell my brother over there to let him go. So it eases his or her pain. So you see, this is the reason. This is one of the major reasons that we use this kind of stones. It's also in LEPCHA, it's called Amimung. So this is how we share our responsibilities, by raising the upright stones. The other kind of upright stones that you have, marking of different area during ancestors' times, a very famous place called Longchuk. It's in Sikkim. That is the place where our ancestor Tikungtek, Nikungel, and Khaibumsa, a person from Tibet, had made a treaty over there to live together in peace and harmony within the Lepchas and the Bhutias. So from that particular time, the Bhutias and the Lepchas used to live together in peace. And that is a big that upright stones over there is an evidence that we are blood brothers, we share everything, and then we live together in peace. So that's just an example. So these are the reasons why we raise this kind of upright stones called Longchuks. And there are other various reasons why we use the marking of our graves. You know, most of our Lepchas, many of our Lepchas have been converted into Christianity by religion. Many of our Lepchas have also converted into Buddhist by religion. So in Buddhism, usually the practice is they burn their bodies. But in LEPCHA, our actual traditional way of disposing the body is by laying the body under the ground. So, you see, what we do usually do is in different position when the body is under the ground. The face is usually facing towards Mount Kanchenjunga because that is where we believe our souls will go back to our ancestors. After laying the body under the ground, we also raise a Longchuk over there. So these are kind of markings that we usually do. So basically, these are the reasons why we raise Longchuks. And there are also the chifats, in the part of chifat that we are doing, we do lots of ceremonies. As you understand, we are nature worshippers. And in nature worshipping, we've got various ceremonies. We call it rumfats or rumfats. We basically have different rumfats called Lang rumfat. The Lang rumfat part is when we worship our land. This is basically done during the time of just before the rainy season. Lang rumfat, and after the winter is over. So during this time, the land is very parched and dry because there's no rain, and we believe that after we do the Lang rumfat, the rain, we call for the rain, and the rain will start coming. It'll start drizzling, in fact. And during this month of time, this usually falls during March, somewhere around March and April. So as the rain falls, a little drizzling rainfall is there. You see the young shoots, the young vegetables, the grasses, and all will start sprouting back. At this particular time, this is March, April, May, in the month of May, June time, when these young little sprouts come up, we do another ceremony called Mugzigdin Rumfat. And Mugzigdin Rumfat means we are welcoming these young new shoots over there. It's a very big ceremony. We welcome these new plants, trees, and all these things after the harsh, dry winter. So during the Mugzigdin Rumfat, we believe now our plantation, or whatever we have planted of fruits, vegetables, and the new grasses, and it will come out in plenty. As we finish our Mugzigdin Rumfat, you see there are a lot of rainfall. And when there is a lot of rainfall, we usually tend to have landslides, and a lot of accidents can occur. And there's a long story about how this river Tista did not want to flow down. The river Tista flowed back, and there was a huge flood over here in our country, then country Mayalang. So at that particular time, we do, during the month of August, in the middle of August, we do it Tondrong Monong Rumfat. The Tendong Hill, now it's known as Tendong Rumfat, but it's Tondrong Monong Rumfat. It was believed during the time of our ancestors there was a lot of flood, and then our ancestors went out to the mountain of the Tondrong, now falls in Sikkim, in Namchi, in the district of Namchi. Over there we do our ceremony in order to help us not fall into any kinds of accidents during the rainfall, or to stop our landslides or all these things. This particular Rumfat is very important for us because it is a very life-saving Rumfat for us. Nowadays, it's become very popular and people gather around, and in Sikkim, it's become an event of the state. But actually in the LEPCHAs, we all do it in each and every house. Those who practice the nature worshipping, that's called Zukten Musong in our language. So after the Tondong Monong Rumfat, we usually have many other Rumfats, many of the prayer ceremonies. Prayer ceremonies such as the Li Rumfat, people do. There's Li means house in my language. Rumfat means the ceremony, the prayer ceremony, the ritual. That is for yearly rituals in order to invoke our protected deities who protect our house, who protect our surrounding areas. So this is called Lirumfat. And in that particular time, we usually call upon our ancestors to look after our place for good health and all these things. So in between, we also have a Matrumfat. Matrumfat is usually done when we hunt animals, or usually we also have domestic animals that we are keeping in our house, such as pigs and bulls, cows, goats. So when we kill and eat them, we also pay respect to their souls. We give respect to all those animals which we have killed and which we have made them food for us. And after the Matrumfat is finished, what we usually do is